Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we're going to work with the same readiness probe and liveness probe together, but then we are using exec as in like command execution to verify. Do remember, this is a very important item which you should be learning as part of your journey towards Kubernetes. Let's create the next pod over here, which is pod number, next probe. We are going to create on a pod. So let's create number 4 probe.yaml file. So now in this fourth probe, we're going to use the same pod related concept, which we have done it on the previous one as well, because it makes the lines much lesser, more clumsy, clumsier actually. When you compare this with the deployment, because deployment comes with its own selectors and everything else. So this is much cleaner to look and it's easy to understand as well. So now here we are replacing your HTTP GET method, your TCP method with the exec method. Now do remember that this comes with the 3 commands. So exec comes with some kind of a command, and within that you are mentioning 3 commands over here, which is the first one is /bin/sh-c is basically a command. So you're executing a command. That's what it says over here. And then what is the command it's executing is checking the pgrub of nginx. Now what happens when it executes this, right? For example, if I want to show you this, what exactly happens over here, I'll use this terminal. So now you know that I don't run Nginx in any of our worker box. Okay, so that is very much sure. Now I can do a ps-df grub of Nginx. So this is one way of checking whether the Nginx process exists or not. But then I had to do grep-v and then ignore the grub itself, because when I do this command, you can see that the grep itself coming as output. So it's a one problem. So that's something I cannot use. So what I can use is that user bin pgrub. So pgrub is a command which is basically talks about whether your the process is running or not. So the core process, it's going to tell whether that process is running or not. So pgrub is available in most of the systems. In some systems it's not available. For example, I don't think it's available with the Nginx image over here, so I may have to go with the Nginx Alpine image. That's what I think, because I don't think the default Nginx image has anything on it. So it's like completely nothing on that except for Nginx itself. So what I'm going to do is like, you can see that I'll first explain you how this logic works, and then we will deal with that later. So now you can see that I don't have pgrub for the Nginx. So, but if I type pgrub for Docker, which you know that I'm running Docker, or I have the Docker service running on the background, you can see that it returns with a number, but it actually doesn't look for that number, like your process ID or whatever. It looks for the output of the execution of the command. So the output of an execution of a command can be gathered by, for example, if I run this Nginx command, right, I can actually check for the command whether it is a success or a failure. 0 is success, 1 is a failure. That's very much known outputs. Okay, so how do I get the output? You just do a echo dollar of question mark. It's gonna give you the output of the previous command. So now it says 1, so which means that the previous command has failed. So this is the way this determines whether that command has succeeded or not. As you know, this particular pgrub command, I'm for sure know that it doesn't exist. The pod will never be ready because this command doesn't exist on the system. So that's one thing. Second thing is that I can copy the pgrub command to the system, and then I can change things around. So we will talk about that later. But if I execute this Docker command, right, so the pgrub for Docker, so I am getting some kind of an output over here, which is a process ID of a Docker. So if I run the same echo, you can see the output of this previous command is 0, which means this 0 is basically means success. So the previous command which I ran was a success. So that's why it is coming with 0. So this is how your readiness probe is going to understand. It's not going to read the value of your command which you are entering there. It's going to read the execution output. Okay, whether it is a success or failure. It can be either success or a failure. There could be nothing in the between. Okay, so this is what it's going to do in terms of your readiness probe, as well as the liveness probe is going to do the same thing as well. All right, so this is we're considering this on your mind. Let's go ahead and work this out. Save and quit this file, and then let's do kubectl apply -f. And then let's create this pod. So I'm pretty sure that it won't even go to the ready state because it won't find this pod available. So you can actually check describe the pod over here. Running pod 4. You can see that the readiness and the liveness prod has failed because this particular command is not found, because the command doesn't even exist on the Nginx image, because Nginx image is so slim that even ps command doesn't exist in there. That's what we saw in the previous video. Now, there are two ways to do this. You can change this command to something else and then rerun the apply command. And then you can ask the, server to have that running. Or number 2 is that you can copy this command from your system to the server. You can always do SCP. But I don't know the root password, but I don't think that there is a root password here. So let's give it a try. So here is your user bin pgrep. Then copy this over to your user bin pgrep. Okay, so the SSH is closed connection, so it is not allowing any SSH connections to travel between the servers. So that's good enough. So what we can do is we can actually have another command to test this rather than the pgrep, or you can change the image which has the pgrep option in your operating system. Like, for example, Nginx Alpine has it. So we will try both these options now. Well, so now you can see that it's been crash loop back. It has been restarting for about 8 times. So let's fix this issue. So as I told you, there are 2 ways of fixing this. As you know, Nginx is so lean that it doesn't have those commands. The first way of fixing it is changing the image itself. So let's just go to the Sterling probe, and you can go to the probe 4, which we are working on. And here you can change the image from your Nginx latest to Nginx Alpine. So what this is... Alpine is that it's an image available which comes with an operating system as well. So this Alpine is the operating system, so it's going to be attaching with the Nginx on top of it. So it's going to be a completely different image, where Nginx is going to be a little bit thicker this time because it's going to have more commands than we had the last time. So now here, option 1 is to change the image, which is much easier to work with. So let's save and quit this file and then just run the apply again. So when you reapply this, so it's going to be, image is going to be mounted on top of this pod one more time. And this time, let's see if the pod comes up alive, or it comes to the ready state. You can see that it has reached the ready state. If you just do a describe on the same, so you can see that backing off restarting failed Nginx pod, so that's all right. But as of now, you can see that there is no issue or error at this moment. So you can see that this is 24 seconds ago, and we're just waiting to see if there is any kind of issue. This is 42 seconds ago, so it means the issue is on the past right now. We are moving forward because it's been 2 minutes and 3 seconds since the last restart. So this is a good sign of getting things done. You can also do kubectl and the exec with IT and then the pod name, and you can just go bash on it. Seems like the bash command is not available. Let's go sh. Shell command, sometimes some operating systems doesn't have bash on it. Sometimes it has shell on it. So just have to work your way around. I think this is Ubuntu flavor, so that's why it doesn't have a bash on it. So now you can see that ps command exists over here, ps-ef of Nginx. So previously we were not able to run this because it's not a full operating system. It just has the essential components to run your Nginx. You can also run commands like pgrep, so which was not previously possible. So here pgrep Nginx, and you can see that there's some kind of an output over here. So your echo dollar question mark is going to be 0, which is a good thing. So right now your item is working right now. So let's just go back, edit this file. Let's change this to latest. Let's go back to the previous state here, where in which it was not working. So let's apply this and wait for it to go to ready state again. So ready is 0 again, and it's gonna go on the on the restart cycle. So if you just give it like 25 seconds, you will start seeing the restarts happening, and then it goes on the crash loop. The next method I have for you to get this working is going and opening this file again and doing something about the command. So as you know that the Nginx is a very light image, so you have to do something about your, something here to make this work in terms of making Nginx work. How do we do that? Instead of this pgrep command, as you know that pgrep command does not work, but you know that Nginx is gonna have Nginx command there. You're gonna use -t over here. So now as I said, you've gone back to crash loop back because it starts restarting again. So now Nginx -t will give you an output whether the Nginx is okay or not okay. So that's gonna be a command for you to verify whether your Nginx is available or not. So we're gonna change both these things from the pgrep to Nginx -t. I just want to check if my Nginx spelling is. I do a lot of typos. So save and quit this file, and let's run this command again. Let's run this file again. And oh, okay. There's some different error over here this time. Okay, so it says forbidden port update failed. Blah blah blah, allowed to be one negative. Okay, so let's see about that. I think I made some mistake over here, so let's just check this one out. Well, I guess I need to recreate the pod rather than updating the pod, so it's not going to work if I update the pod when you have changed the values of the monitoring parameters, like any of the props. So let's just kubectl delete pod and then just remove this pod, and then let's recreate that with apply. So you can see that new pod is created. So let's see if it goes to the ready state right now. So what this error tells is like you actually cannot, update the existing parameters in terms of props. That's what it is trying to tell me. So it says about specification toleration over here, deadline seconds, and forbidden message that talks about those things. But I will not be able to update these items in terms of working with props. So you can see that the readiness has gone to 1 out of 1, so which means we are live right now. So we can access this pod right now with kubectl exec-it, and I'm just giving the pod name over here with the sh or bash or whatever. So here I can see that I've logged in. First of all, I don't have the ps command or any command for that matter, so I can actually I can run Nginx. Sorry. Oh god. Let me go to bash. It's very hard to work on sh because your backspace doesn't work. So Nginx-t, you can see that this is the output I was talking about. So you can see Nginx text is successful. So this is basically what we have changed this to. And we have got our state to ready and liveness. There's no restart has happened so far, so which is good news. Thank you again for watching this video. I hope that you have learned a thing or two about this. Do leave your review. Your review means everything to me. And if you have any questions, you know how to reach out to me. Thanks again for watching this. I'll see you on the next one.